पूरे बये दिन चर गया मेरे अम्बे बोरे बये दिन चर गया मेरे अम्बे हो रही जय जय कार मंदिर विच आरती जय माँ हे दरबार वाली आरती जय माँ काहे मैया तेरी आरती बनावा काहे दी मैया तेरी आरती बनावा काहे दी फावा विच बाते मंदिर विच आरती जय माँ तू है चौथिया वाले आरती जय माँ हे पावारा वाली आरती जय माँ सरू सोनिधि तेरी आरती बनावा सरू सोनिधि तेरी आरती बनावा अगर कपूर पावा बाती मंदिर विच आरती जय माँ हे माँ पिंडी वाली आरती जय माँ हे पावारा वाली आरती जय माँ बोरे बये दिन चर गया मेरे अम्बे बोरे बये दिन चर गया मेरे अम्बे हो रही जय जय कार मंदिर विच आरती जय माँ. Welcome to the activation of the sacred, holy, divine warrior goddess within, who is not afraid to watch you in your face and cuss your mother cunt out, especially when you freaking deserve it, right? Welcome to the activation of the sacred feminine, which is not no virtuous biblical wife as you would want to believe it is, which is not some pure chaste Hindu woman who's supposed to be trailing behind her husband rather than walking side by side with him. Yeah, look at all of that with all that shit, right? Welcome to the activation of the true, powerful, feminine, divine, sacred warrior energy. Also welcome to the course on Third World and Global Development, right? Third World and Global Development. So, I will only be conducting one session in this course. I'll be conducting one session in this course as opposed to how I was doing 3 sessions per course. In my previous courses, I will do one session for this course, and I will do this one session in memory of the late Dr. Brown, who would have taught this course as well as social change and development, right? Since he used to get paid for just coming and not even having no classes, not even having no lectures, right? I will just still do one, right, in his memory, right? And this video is also in dedication to all the Rastafarian lecturers and tutors, especially at the University of the West Indies, who like to come in class and preach about the system this and the system that, but you will come in on the same damn system and teaching the same damn thing, right? So I will be leaving this YouTube system as soon as I finish this project, right? Because I not on these types of platforms, right? I still hold it in my heart that you all would have banned me previously, right? You all blocked me from uploading shit, right? So I'm not on that, right? I just use a new platform to get my point across for the moment that it is, and then I'm out, right? I will be on TikTok resolving some more karma, after which I am withdrawing myself from that Chinese dynasty system as well, right? I am withdrawing myself from the American system, and I am withdrawing myself from the Chinese TikTok system, right? Both sides of the same coin. I'm just using these platforms temporarily to reach some people, to have them change their lives a bit, right? And this message is to let everyone know that you should make changes in your life, relevant changes in your life, as soon as possible, right? Make changes in your life as soon as possible. Choose natural law, right? Choose the alignment of natural law before natural law or karma has to choose you by force, right? Listen to what I'm saying carefully. Choose natural law. Choose natural law, or choose the alignment with natural law before natural law or karma has to choose you by force, because it's not going to be a pretty experience, and I'm speaking from experience, right? I am fine now, right? But I am speaking from experience that karma or natural law has the potential to walk right into your life, fuck it up, leave your heart broken, leave you to heal your own damn self, right? And walk away without saying a word, right? So choose natural law before it chooses you and fucks you up by force, right? Without lubrication or anything like that, right? So stop causing harm to people, stop causing harm to other living creatures as much as possible. And after karma walks into your life and fucks it up and leave you to heal by yourself, you will be reaffirmed in your belief. You will be reaffirmed in your belief that not only is karma a bitch, right? Not only is karma a bitch, but karma is also a whore, right? Just as your rumors would have indicated. Just like your rumors would have indicated, right? So welcome to Third World in Global Development, right? Welcome to Third World in Global Development. And people might be wondering, why am I doing this, right? Why do I have such a passion for sociology, right? Why am I doing this and doing it for free too, right? Well, I have a passion for sociology. Sociology is in fact my true love, right? Sociology is my true love, right? How is this so? Because sociology was actually the first thing, the first real thing that was there for me, right? Sociology was the first real thing that was there for me when I was going through my heartbreak, my pain, my internal suffering, right? Which I couldn't talk to anybody about at the time. When I faced circumstances where I was a social outcast in my own village and in my own family and community, right? When I was standing up for people who I was not expected to stand up for, right? When I was just being myself, right? Sociology was there for me when I was just being myself, and that's why I will never leave sociology, and sociology will never leave me, right? I will never leave sociology, and sociology will never leave me, because sociology found me when I had nobody else. So to hell with everybody who be like, oh, sociology is leading you down the wrong path and blah 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 blah. Yeah, you could go fuck all yourself with that, right? Stick a thumb up your ass, right? Because I know how sociology was there for me when I had nobody else in the world, right? So I'm talking about true sociology. I still hate the institutions and stuff, right? And I believe that the institutions are immoral pieces of trash. I'm talking about the actual discipline, right? And to hell with all the people who regard sociology as an inferior discipline as well, right? People who prefer the natural sciences, right? The natural sciences over the social sciences, right? Sociology has a special place in my heart, and it will always have a special place in my heart, right? So welcome to Third World in Global Development, and we are talking about what really makes a country third world, right? What makes a country third world, right? And I would just like to stress in this video about one's mentality, right? One's mentality, right? Are you still stuck in the mentality that one political party is going to help you advance more than the other political party? If you live in a two-party political system, if you live in a part of the world where a two-party political system exists, right? Do you still believe at this point, man? At this point, do you still believe that one political party, after the decades you have experienced, you have lived on this earth and experienced, right? After you've experienced what possibilities that could come out of these two political parties, are you one of the persons who believe that this is in fact the solution? That recycling political parties, or this party thief enough, but this party didn't thief as much, right? You are a clown, and I will watch you in your face and tell you that you are a clown, right? You could be however close you are to me. You could be my partner, you could be my best friend, you could be my homie, you could be my dog, you could be my mother, you could be my father, right? I will watch you in your face and tell you that you are a clown if you live here for all 60 years, 50 years, and after seeing what these two political parties are capable of doing and what they have done, right? Are you the person, and the divisions they have caused and so on, are you the type of person who will be like, oh, well, this one do this and but this one do it better, right? This and but this, right? That is clown mentality, right? It have a name for it. It is clown shoe mentality, right? And you are a clown, and I make no apologies for saying it, right? So that's one thing that makes a country third world. So you will realize now that Trinidad and Tobago is not a third world country, right? In fact, places like the US and stuff is more of a fucking third world country than anywhere else, right? Places like the United States of America, the land of grand opportunity, right? The land of opportunity, where people like to run away from Trinidad and Tobago. I love my country, you know. I just hate how people think there, right? I love my country. I just hate how people think, right? So, people who think American thing is, oh, the land of opportunity, right? You go to these places and you realize that people just as dumb, if not more dumb, than your own third world country, right? People are just as dumb, if not more dumb, than your own third world country, right? And when people reach these big places and things, they be like, then start to look down on us third world people like we are inferior, right? Well, some of us actually do have an inferior thinking, right? Some actually do have an inferior thinking. And it have nothing to do with ethnicity and race and thing, believe it or not. Believe it or not, contrary to your belief systems, this has nothing to do with what ethnicity we are, because they are dumb white people, they are dumb Indian people, they are dumb African people, they are dumb Chinese people. I don't know if they are dumb Chinese people. They're kind of bright actually, right? But I never really actually talk or had a conversation with a Chinese in my life, except for when I'm buying Chinese food, right? Doesn't really matter to me either, right? So third world is really does not have anything to do with how big your buildings are It doesn't have to do with how much money you have in your bank account, right? First world and third world doesn't have to do with how much money you have. It doesn't have to do with how tall your structures are. It doesn't have to do with how much tourist attraction sites that you have. It doesn't have to do with how much variety or choice you actually have in your groceries, right? It doesn't have to do with how much clothes that you have, right? See, I'm back in my grey jersey because I'm actually not a big fan of colored clothes. I just decide to try a new thing, right? But I like grey, I like black, right? So second thing that makes us as humanity, third world, right, is our is the aspect of ourself that drives us to intentionally cause harm, especially when we have the knowledge that we should not be doing so, right? And this is the whole point of this video series, to create that transformation in our lives, to stop creating harm when we know that when we have the knowledge, right? We actually have the knowledge that, hey, I can change myself through changing the practices, the barbaric practices that I engage in, right? So, the white colonials and them, they would have referred to us, it's funny how they would have referred to us as barbaric and uncivilized, right? Imagine they invade Africa, they invade the Caribbean, they invade India, they invade every freaking way, boy, right? They invaded everywhere. And then have the audacity to call original people barbaric and uncivilized, right? Well, I will stay barbaric and uncivilized, right? According to your standards, right? I will stay barbaric and uncivilized. In fact, I will come in your country and be barbaric and uncivilized, right? So yeah. But anyhow, folks, is all two thing about mentality is recognizing that the white man is not the cause of all the problems in the world, right? Because in order for the white man to come and invade shit and do our people shit, our people had to allow them to come and do it, right? As I always say, it goes both ways, and every party must take equal responsibility, right? The law of karma, or the law of cause and effect, demands, it dictates, right? It demands that each person, each individual, each collective that cause harm upon another individual or collective must take equal responsibility in the violence that was inflicted, right? The world is a cycle. This is just the nature of how the law operates, right? So once whatever is set in motion, whatever painful actions, whatever good actions, whatever violent or non-violent action is set into the universe, is set into motion, right? That already occurred, and we are bound to, right? We are bound to receive the karmic consequence for that violent or non-violent action that we would have perpetuated against others, right? We are bound to that, right? We are bound to the positive and negative consequences for the actions that we perform until we are born in a lifetime where we are just here to resolve our karma and then peacefully exit the earth, or however it goes, right? Until then, we are bound to receive both positive and negative reactions to the karma that we would have engaged in the past, right? So selfless service, right? Engaging in selfless service is a pathway, right? Engaging in non-violent selfless service is a pathway of karmic resolution. It can help you to resolve your karma, right? And avoid you having to repeat the lessons. That's why I would advocate for people to do this regardless of how difficult it is for you to do in this current lifetime, right? Regardless of how challenging or how difficult it is for you to do in this lifetime. How much sacrifice It might be for you if you're sacrificing your taste buds, you're sacrificing your salary, right? Regardless of how much sacrifice it takes for you to do in this lifetime, in terms of giving up the pleasurable things of the world in order to attain spiritual wealth, regardless of how much sacrifice that is, I would suggest that you do it, right? I would suggest that you actually take that course of action, right? Take that course of action, because it is a way that you can resolve the past negative consequences that you would have, negative actions that you would have engaged in the past, right? So aligning yourself with the spiritual law is the highest path, and it is the path to moving from third world mentality to a first world mentality, which has nothing to do with geographic location, which has nothing to do with your race, which has nothing to do with your ethnicity, gender, all these things, right? It's simply about who you are as a human / divine human being, human and divine being, right?